All right, this is the second part to the fundamentals of outer limits video that I'm going to start going from A strings up through master and grandmaster and start going over some of the more advanced things that you need to know to get into those times with foot placement, things like that. All right, so at this point, what I'm going to start doing is I'm actually going to still get over to this right side of the box. I'm actually going to start to get up on the fault line here to get me even farther over to this right side as possible. Now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be stepping out of the box, trying not to do a drop step here. So I've got my foot up on the right side of this box, and when I come up here to get ready, I've got most of my weight is here loaded up on my left foot, so I can just step out and I don't have to transfer any weight to my left side to be able to do that. All right, so let's run some strings here. All right, so that was a 4-4-1. So that'll put you pretty deep into A. A's at 478. Again, watch the footwork. I'm trying to just step out of the box. I'm getting my left foot as far over as I can here. That was a 435. Now, as you can see, I'm not moving a whole lot faster than the B strings as far as from box to box. You know, there's some different things you can do. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm trying to break the shots off a little bit faster. This is a 0.74 in the first shot, a 0.44 in the second shot, and the movement was a 216. So when we start getting up to the faster times, you got to get that below 2. I'm going to be shooting for around in the 170s on the movement time. All right, there's a 444. I got a miss on the right plate there. So I was kind of waving around still. So one thing that happens when you get over there, really at all the times, is that third shot that you take, you're not going to be completely settled for it. Your dot's still going to be moving around quite a bit, but you got to break the shot when you got an acceptable sight picture. What happened there on the fourth shot is that I was still a little bit loose on my support hand, and I still had a little bit of wave going on. I went over about 2 o'clock and broke the shot anyway. So as always, right, eyes, dot, break the shot. Your eyes got to be there, dot's got to be there, and you pull the trigger when that happens. All right, so another thing as far as that goes, it's right in line with that, is the second shot on that big plate back there. You have to start calling it. And by calling that shot, you're confirming that it's going to be a hit when your eyes are on the dot and you pull the trigger. You're not waiting for the report back that you hit the plate, the sound. Sound does not travel fast, and if you're waiting for it, you're already behind the clock, okay? So at some of the slower times at B, not that you should be waiting for the report back, but it's not as imperative that you're already getting ready to move or already starting to move once you break that shot on the second plate. When you getting into high A, master, grandmaster, you have to be calling that shot back there. So you got to make sure you've got good sight picture, break the shot, and you move. Don't wait for the report back. All right, so take a look at that. Right now, I'm trying not to move too much to get out of the box, but as I get faster into the times, you'll see that when I go to break that second shot, I'm already either leaning or I'm already moving, starting to get out of the box. All right, so that was a 391. So that'll put you into master. Master's at 422. Let's run some more of those and we'll push a little bit harder, see what we get. All right, there's a 381. It's around the same. So I had a little extra step there. I did a little bit of a shuffle at the end. I don't usually do, but it just kind of happened. So things like that happen. But that's what you're going to work on, is just trying to be consistent and that efficiency with your movement. All right, that was a 377. So now you can see where I'm landing here. I'm not going any farther than I need to. My left foot here, right on top of the fault line on this box. Right foot, about a foot into this one, 1.5 feet into this one. And the B-class strings, I was making it all the way into the box most of the time, I believe. So like I mentioned in the first fundamental videos with this, there's a lot of time to be made up in the movement. So you start to working on efficiency of movement, you're going to start taking off a lot of time. Now you can absolutely break your shots faster, but if you're taking a lot of time, for example, the third shot on that was a 180. So if you're at 2 seconds or more and you're trying to get into master or grandmaster, really start to think about the efficiency of your movement from box to box, because if you can speed that up, you're going to take bigger chunks of time off a lot easier than you will trying to break your shots faster. All right, so that was a 377. Oddly enough, that's exactly what you need. Grandmaster, 95%. So that's your entry level right into Grandmaster, that 377 right there. So let's push a little bit more, see what we can get going on here. I'm trying to break the first and second shots faster and move faster. I'm not gonna be too concerned about how fast I'm breaking the shots in the middle box. At this point, I'm really gonna let my eyes and the how solid I am with the rifle when I get over there dictate that. But first shot was a 6.6. Second shot was a 3.2. So let's try to see if we can keep that 6.6 around there and get that another 10th off of that 3.2, get it down into the 20s, and see if we can get over to that box a little bit faster. All right, so that was a 340. So first shot, 0.66, just like the last one. Second shot, 0.22. So that's exactly what I was looking for. And third shot, let's see what the movement was like, 160. Wow, so I think I was 180 on the last one. So there you go. So that all adds up there. First shot, second shot, another 0.2 off the movement. And now you're down to a 340. All right, so let's run some more strings, see if we can dial this in a little bit more. Now at this point, I'm really looking at kind of refining what I'm doing. I'm getting the Grandmaster strings, 340, and I'm really going to start looking at really refining my movement and this first and second shots here. So when I come up and do my sight picture here, what I'm looking for, and let me actually talk about the feet first. What I noticed on some of my strings earlier is that because I didn't have my left foot turned far enough in that direction, what I was doing is, not a drop step necessarily, but in order to make my movement and push off, I was having to kick my heel this way and push off. So I'm going to kind of turn my foot a little bit that way, so that way I don't feel like I have to kick my heel out to make the movement. And on my sight picture here, what I'm looking for is I'm going to draw up on this first plate, of course, and I'm going to come over to the second one. And I want to, right now, that time, naturally I kind of just drove past it. So I'm actually going to turn a little bit back to the left. Again, not going too far. I don't want to have to take a step to the left. I don't want to drive past that plate at 35 yards. All right, a 363, so it's actually a little bit slower than the last one, but still right there in that range. All right, I got enough for another couple strings here. Let's push it. I'll probably make some misses or something, and let's see what happens, see if we can talk through them here. So I'm really going to try to break this second shot fast and just get out of the box. It's another 340. I pushed it. Felt like I was pushing pretty hard there. Had a miss on the front right plate. It's good enough for 2 more strings. Let's see if we can break that 340. There's a 329. So let's see where the time came off. First shot 0.65, second shot 19. So that's where it came off, was that second shot. Getting out of the 20s with that. Third shot 163, so took another tenth off of the 170s, I think it was I was running before. So I'm gonna run this last one a little bit different with the footwork. This is the way that I did it all season last year. I think it's also really fast, but it takes a little bit of getting used to. It's a lot harder more challenging to get stabilized in the box over there. But what this is instead of pushing off with the left foot and stepping out of the box, you're actually loading up on the right foot like this. I'll do the dry run so you can see it first. So you come up and you're putting weight on this right foot this way. That's a lot more of a jump and a push. It actually helps to have 2x4 boxes like this when you're pushing off on them. Gives you a little bit of a extra edge, I think, on the power. So I'll run one like this so you can see it. If you do it like this, this is also a really fast way to do it if you've mastered it. So 341, as you can see, little rocky on the landing there. Like I said, it takes a lot of practice, and you got to be really good on your feet. For me personally, I actually have a kind of a knee injury on this one, so that's why my initial reason why I'm decided to abandon that this season. But if you can handle that and it works for you, it's also a very fast way to do it. I did have some misses on that one. I think I missed a back right. I don't know, I missed the front right and the start plate on that one. But those are some of what I feel are the advanced techniques of running a rifle on outer limits. If you enjoyed this video, feel like this is helpful, drop a comment below. Tell me what you are working on with outer limits. Tell me how you like to shoot it. I'd love to hear about it. If you want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button and shoot fast and shoot often.